Alright, so I'm back again with another video. Trying to knock these videos out before the weather changes, it gets like too cold to be out here in nature. But yeah, man, how y'all doing? But yeah, it's Damien L, and right now I feel a need to talk about individuality and being different, and not being afraid to be different, and standing out, basically being different in a world of followers is powerful. At the end of the day, we're all creators, and the most powerful people in the world, or I'm not going to say the most powerful people in the world, because of course, a lot of powerful people are lies, deceivers, and they're up to no good. But I would say the most influential or creative people in the world, those people weren't afraid to express their thoughts and putting it into action. And no matter what anybody says, then they would basically just do whatever they gotta do, or whatever they feel they gotta do. So yeah, so it's very powerful to be different in the world. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you can see it in social media. The button to follow, it says, do you want to follow this person? We see it on social media, and basically, like, there's nothing wrong with following, but of course people are gonna have the need to be followed. So in the beginning of social media, I think when it was just friends, the friends button, yeah, that was cool. It was just a friends button. Now we have the follow button. And of course, you have like NPCs, like non-playable characters, or I guess they're just like serve as the backdrop, people that's in the backdrop. And yeah, I guess you could say like those people will have like no purpose. They pretty much follow everything that they see, or they repeat everything that's said. And yeah, it's just I guess it's a character that's not really important, and they don't have any creative powers, or maybe they feel they don't have creative powers. And yeah, so yeah, man, definitely I came across a lot of people like that in my life. That everything was a problem that I wanted to do. Anything that was creative, it was just kind of like they're asking me, what world am I living in? You can't do that, or why would you do that? Anything that was creative. But and another thing, as I used to be afraid of my own power, meaning that I would tend to listen to what people say when it comes to my own talents and my own power and what I have to offer to the world. And basically, like, your own power is pretty much hidden because people try to bury it. So just like what I realized is a lot of my power was hidden or buried based on what people said over and over again in repetition. It was just like a lot of negative it was a lot of negative mindsets and people that don't have creative power, people that are artistic and creative, and basically they would just, if it's up to them, then we wouldn't have all the things that help us in this life, all the machines and everything, and tools and everything. It takes people like that to create. And those are the people that's different. They don't think the same as someone that's just consuming. It's a real thing. And so I say, yeah, don't be afraid of your own power, and don't try to hide your power. and be responsible for your power. So, of course, like, power could be used and abused, so definitely, be responsible and accept the outcomes, because this is something that you created, you know. And another thing is, reality is ruthless, meaning that don't apologize for your good traits, and your good talents, you know. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm good at this thing, and a lot of people around me ain't good at this, and then you could feel the energy of them feeling bad because they can't do what you do, so, but at the end of the day, there's nothing to lose, really. And because of people feeling guilty for having a talent, or being better than someone in a certain field or certain things, sometimes they have guilt inside, and they just kind of like, what, like, they just have this feeling of feeling bad for being better, so yeah. So don't apologize for being better in a field. Of course, like, no one's better than anyone in existence when it comes to humanity and having life and living on Earth, but everybody's different. And basically, they had a scale. They had something where they were measuring frequencies, and they were saying that individuality had the highest frequency, higher than confidence, higher than everything. So yeah, man. And we see it in all the peoples, we see it in the Kanyes, the Pharrells, even the Jay-Z's and the Beyoncés, and all of those people, like, they were different in their own right, and as well as, but I'd say, like, now there's a lot of copies, you could see a lookalike of anybody in the world right now when it comes to celebrity. So, but definitely, and another thing is that being different is always offensive. It seems to be it seems to be offensive to people because they haven't seen it before. It seems like everything that's seen before is what people feel more comfortable with. Familiarity, like, things that are more familiar. But break through, you know what I'm saying? Break through. I'm different. And say to yourself, I'm different. I speak like this, I act like this, and I talk like this, and I look like this, and it's whatever. And you're different, you're an individual. So don't be a follower. Create. You have the freedom to create. You were born to create, and keep it going, and don't be ashamed of your own power, and just stand on your own, because one day success will come. As a matter of fact, it's already here.